Imagine this. You're standing in a packed wedding hall, fairy lights twinkling, champagne flowing, and the aunt who's been smiling sweetly for 20 years suddenly grabs the microphone. One sentence from her lips and the entire room freezes. The bride's face turns ghost white. Because what Auntie just revealed had been buried for 2 decades. And the revenge? Ice cold, perfectly timed, and completely unstoppable. This is that story. If you've ever been betrayed by family, lied about, or had your entire life stolen and then watched the thief act like the victim, this one's for you. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications, because today justice isn't just served, it's plated on fine china with a side of 20-year-old receipts. Let's dive in. My name is Lisa. And for most of my life, the person I trusted more than anyone on this planet was my older sister, Claire. Claire was the golden child. Straight-A student, homecoming queen, the one mom bragged about at every family gathering. I was the quiet one, the artsy one, the one who would find her way eventually. Our parents died when I was 19 and Claire was 24. Car accident. Instant. Overnight, Claire became my legal guardian, and everything changed. Within weeks she sat me down and said, "Lisa, you're too emotional to handle money right now. Let me take care of the inheritance until you're older." I was grieving. I trusted her. I signed whatever she put in front of me. Big mistake. Fast forward 6 months. Claire buys herself a brand new condo downtown. Designer bags. Luxury car. I'm still sleeping in our childhood home, eating ramen, trying to finish community college. When I asked about the money, she laughed. Actually laughed. There was barely anything left after funeral costs and debts, Lisa. You're imagining things. I wasn't imagining the $1.4 million life insurance payout. Or the sale of mom and dad's house that somehow ended up in her name only. But every time I brought it up, she cried to the family, "My little sister is unstable. The grief is making her paranoid." And they believed her. Because Claire was perfect. Because I was the difficult one. For 20 years she gaslit me. At Thanksgiving she'd squeeze my hand under the table and whisper, "Let's not bring up money and ruin everyone's mood, okay?" At Christmas she gifted me a $20 scarf while wearing a Rolex I indirectly paid for. She got engaged to Mark, a sweet, clueless doctor who thought Claire walked on water. And I was invited to be a bridesmaid. In the dress she picked. That she paid for, with my parents' money. I swallowed it. Year after year. I told myself blood is thicker than water. I told myself karma would handle it. I told myself I was the bigger person. Then came the wedding day. The venue was a gorgeous vineyard outside Napa. 500 guests. Ice sculptures. String quartet. A 10-tier cake that probably cost more than my car. I'm standing there in lavender chiffon, clutching a bouquet, watching Claire float down the aisle like she invented happiness. Mark is tearing up. The officiant asks the crowd the usual question. If anyone here has any reason these two should not be married, speak now or forever hold your peace. Dead silence. I felt it before I heard it, my heart pounding so hard I thought the microphone might pick it up. Because in my clutch purse was a single flash drive. And on that flash drive was everything. See, 5 years earlier I'd finally hired a forensic accountant. Quietly. Paid him out of the art gallery I'd scraped together from nothing. He found it all. Forged signatures. Backdated documents. Bank transfers the week our parents died. Even emails where Claire bragged to a friend about how easy it was to play the grieving big sister. I could have sued her years ago. I could have gone public. But lawsuits drag on. People forget. I wanted something that would hurt the way she hurt me. Something permanent. Something she could never undo. So, I waited. I smiled in every photo. I toasted at the engagement party. I helped pick the damn centerpieces. And I waited for the one day she would care about more than anything else, her perfect wedding. When the officiant finished his line, I stepped forward. Not dramatically, no running or screaming. Just calm. Like I was supposed to be up there all along. I smiled at Claire. She smiled back, confused but still beaming. "Hi everyone," I said into the mic, voice steady. "My name is Lisa, Claire's little sister. And I do have something to say." You could hear 500 people inhale at once. I pulled out the flash drive and held it up. 20 years ago our parents died and left behind $1.87 million in assets. Claire told me it was all gone. She told all of you I was crazy for thinking otherwise. But I have proof it wasn't. I turned to the massive projector screen behind the altar, the one meant for the couple's cute childhood photo montage. I'd paid the AV guy an extra $2,000 that morning to swap the file. Money well spent. The first slide appeared. Bank statement, 2013. Transfer, $1,400,000. From estate of Margaret and Daniel Thompson. To Claire Thompson personal account. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Next slide. Email from Claire to her college roommate, dated 3 weeks after the funeral. Honestly, Lisa's too broken to notice. By the time she figures it out, I'll have it all locked away. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. The microphone was doing the screaming for me. Slide after slide. Forged power of attorney. Text messages where she mocked me to her fiancé. Yes, Mark was seeing these for the first time too. A photo of Claire's condo title, with my forged signature at the bottom. I looked right at her. For the first time in 20 years, Claire wasn't smiling. Her bouquet slipped from her hands and hit the ground. Roses scattered everywhere like blood. "Claire," I said softly, "you stole my parents from me once when they died. You stole them again every time you spent their money and told me I was crazy. Today the world gets to see who you really are." Then I turned to Mark, whose face had gone gray. "I'm so sorry you had to find out this way. But you deserved the truth before you said I do." I set the microphone down gently. Walked back to my seat. And slowly sat back down. The string quartet didn't know whether to keep playing. Someone's uncle started slow clapping, then thought better of it. Claire tried to grab the mic, tears streaming, mascara running. "It's not what it looks like. She's lying. She's always been jealous." But Mark stepped away from her. Actually stepped back, like she was contagious. He looked at me, then at her, then at the screen still cycling through evidence on a loop. "Claire," he said, voice shaking, "is any of this forged?" She opened her mouth. Nothing came out. The officiant cleared his throat. Perhaps the couple would like a moment in private?" Mark didn't take her hand. He just walked straight down the aisle and out the doors. Half the guests followed him, his family, his colleagues, people who suddenly realized the fairy tale was built on my nightmare. Claire stood there alone at the altar, wedding dress worth $40,000 suddenly looking like a costume. Her maid of honor tried to hug her. Claire shoved her away and ran. The reception never happened. Caterers packed up salmon and filet mignon while guests whispered and filmed on their phones. By that evening the video was everywhere. #WeddingExposed was trending worldwide. Claire lost everything in the weeks that followed. Mark filed for annulment the next day. Her job, some cushy nonprofit director position, quietly asked her to resign when donors started pulling funding. Most of our extended family finally apologized to me. Some still defend her. Blood is thick, I guess. And the money? My lawyer sent her a very polite letter. She settled out of court for every penny plus 20 years of interest. I paid off my gallery, bought a little house with a garden, and started a scholarship in our parents' name, for kids who lost parents and need someone to trust. Eiley. People keep asking me if I feel bad. If destroying her wedding was too much. I think about 19-year-old me crying in an empty house while my sister bought Louboutins with mom's life insurance. I think about every Christmas she told me to let it go. I think about her smug little smile when she asked me to be a bridesmaid. No. It wasn't too much. It was exactly enough. Sometimes justice doesn't roar. Sometimes it just waits patiently in lavender chiffon, holding a flash drive, smiling the entire time. Family can hurt you deeper than anyone else, but they can also teach you that silence isn't always golden. Sometimes it's just ammunition. So, tell me down in the comments, what's the longest someone has ever waited to get their revenge? 20 years? Longer? Drop your stories below, I read every single one. If this story gave you that sweet, sweet taste of vindication, smash that like button, hit subscribe, turn on the bell, and share this video with anyone who needs to hear that karma sometimes wears heels and takes her sweet time. I'm your host, see you in the next one. Stay petty, stay patient, and I'll catch you on the next revenge. Peace.